Hey you guys, welcome to training video number 2. This one is slightly more advanced than the first one, but I hope it still helps. First off, be more confident in your decisions and movements. That's the way you're going to improve and get better and learn what you're capable of when it comes to your plays. First tip, fake it till you make it, I always do. These can get a little bit tricky, so just proceed with caution. So this guy on the right of me wants to cut me off when I potentially go up, but I see that, so I trick him into thinking I'm turning. He moves in to cut me off because I would die if I turned into that. Instead, I go down and he has nowhere to go, so he dies. So know when to call BS on other snakes. This guy turns down to sort of fake me out like he's gonna turn, right? When we come to another encounter, normally snakes are gonna turn in, but I'm gonna assume he's turning out because he tried to trick me once. I know he's capable of doing it again. Alright, you gotta learn who your tricksters are. Country Skin likes to play games like I do, so when we both pretend to go towards the blue snake, I readjust because I know he's going to fake me out. I cut in front of him, and that would generally work. There was just lag. So just like I mentioned before in my past video, you have to take your time and slow down. Had I rushed through this, I would have died because that tiny snake would have potentially cut me off. But when you slow down, you realize you have like more opportunities than you think. Just know that when you're wrapping a snake in a very busy environment, it requires a lot of micro adjustments. So as I've always said, don't rush, take your time, and be patient. So I was initially going for popcorn. It just seemed like a lot of effort. This snake down here is coiled up and compact. So I'm going to shoot down. He doesn't really have an exit up top, so it makes it easy for me to circle him. So with this one, if I were to continue on my route circling him, he would find a way to cut me off. So I take a little detour to fake him out. And then I always make sure his head is continuously past my tail so he can't turn out. And then I aggressively just sort of circle, make sure I'm aware of the snakes around me. So understand he's going to want the food. You're going to take a wider turn to cut him off. When I go in, the little snakes are going to try to exit, right? You predict that. So I turn out, and then I still want to close this gap and eat this food. So just make sure you're aware of the little tinies. You don't hit them on your way. So we know people are going to try to take advantage while you're trying to wrap. I make sure that this guy knows I'm not going to allow him to wrap me. I do try to corral the snake that I was wrapping at the same time. And then when he goes for the wrap, I just turn my attention to him and kill him. And then you realize that snake's going to die anyway, so he's trying to wrap me. I know that I'm bigger than him, and so if I like space out a little bit, he's not going to have the length to go around me. I make sure that I'm not past his tail, so I have an exit route if I need it. Now this food right here, if I turn in, I'm going to lose that circumference. So what I'm going to do is turn out, make him have to go all the way around while I'm eating the food, and then look, I turn in real quick, catches him off guard, and I actually ensnare him as well. So again, just try to keep that radius, keep it wide, like extend yourself. This guy's trying to circle me, but I constantly try to expand so that he doesn't have the length to fully go around me. So I know this snake is going to try to wrap me and he has to go up. So I'm going to use this snake to my right to try to cut him off. Now when I go in and come back out, you have to realize it creates sometimes a little gap. So I make a curve around to ensure that he doesn't get through. So for this wrap, he's going to try to shoot out and I need to take that into account. So I need to go outward more to cut him off. So on this wrap, he tried to cut me off. He wasn't able to fully commit. I just take that opportunity to slide through and then boom, you got him. So I know we covered these last video. This is a little more in depth. You just got to get the guts to go for them. You'll soon start to get a feel for the trajectory of snakes, kind of like how tight they play, if it means they're going to turn in or turn out. Most of them go for like the safe route. They turn in, like I've said before. And just if you're small, just follow that very tip of their head and try to like make contact. Here we're watching my teammate Flashy. She does this really great turnaround, like this loop, in order to cut people off. So this is just a little bit more advanced. If you don't want to do the full like loop and go back the direction you were originally headed, you can instead do like a 180 if you have a bit of extra time. Go in, go out, and then boom, you're lined up to eat. So here I'm honing in on my target, Great Canadian Snake. He's got 2 exits. So I'm going to go down and cut this one off. He's forced to go straight up. I'm going to zoom back around and then shoot and cut him off. Snakes don't go in a straight line, they kind of stick their heads out a bit. Take that opportunity to cut them off. So when it comes to breaking up wraps, think in terms of layers. Always start with the outside, try to cut off that snake. Use that food as a lure to get the next one. So if you don't have an open outer snake to target, you can set like bait traps by killing tinier snakes surrounding the wrap you're trying to ultimately infiltrate. So there's one right here that's like perfectly aligned. He's going to go out for the food. I'm going to cut him off and then free my teammate. So big chunky kioskers always love to eat. They just want to get big and fat and like kiosk, right? So setting bait traps for them is a guaranteed way of getting them to stick their head out and break their kiosk. I think this other snake just got a little nervous, wanted to re-expand, but just poor timing. Once again, just setting that trap and then boom. It gets kind of predictable, right? And then 2 for 1. So this snake is going to try to turn out and make a loop to sort of open himself up and make him bigger so I can't wrap him. But he breaks his circuit and it gives me an opportunity to kind of go in and cut him off. So basically, the idea in this game is to get any other snake to hit the center midpoint of its head onto something, particularly you, so that they die. So I play with A sometimes in the evenings and I just like protect them as they kiosk. It's just something fun I do. But he was circled in this instance and the gap was slowly closing in order to cut off Raptor. I had a feeling this snake might overcompensate his wrap, which he did, and then boom, I hit that middle point on his head and just cut him off. This is just another example of when snakes are turning and they overcompensate. So in the beginning here, I'm sort of like assessing the situation. I know that his tail is sticking out way too much for Buns to be able to wrap him alone. He closes in, so I'm not able to get a good like headshot on him. But here I realize his tail is smaller now, so I can go in and like wrap that end and just make him a nice little package for Buns. So Flashy here immediately understands the assignment. She cuts off Beth's only exit up top, which forces him to go down. She knows I've got this end, so all she has to do is curl in and he'll end up killing himself. So again, I'm assessing the situation. Bun seems to have that end under control. My goal is to keep him in this circle that Buns is creating. I would cut off the exit if he tried to escape. So we've locked in on our target. Buns has one side already covered for Vanny. I'm going to wrap around this other so it creates a safe passage for Buns. If I don't push outward, I can go in and Vanny could ultimately encircle me. So I go out. He doesn't make any attempt to try to cut me off. So I close the gap. Buns can make it through those tight gaps right there, but I just kamikaze just in case. So how to navigate the middle was one of the main requests when it came to making this video. Now, you're going to come face to face with a lot of snakes. You just want them to make contact first. So I'm going to turn outward because even if we don't collide, it'll be a safe passage. So here I was just trying to wrap this snake, but it was pushing outward, which would push me into Kimona. So at this point, I'm just going to go straight through and they're both going to collide. So here I'm just predicting their moves based off of the food. They like to curl, right? So snakes are curling. I'm just going to cut them off. Just let your gameplay like flow, right? Dodge the snakes. Make sure you protect your face at all costs. Protect your face. So I'm just going to go through, not worry about the food. Here, Worldwide always tries to cut me off, but he died in the process. Just go slow, So where should your focus be on this point? It should be on the gap. Okay, what openings do you have and how fast do you need to go in order to make it through them without, running into someone? So for this next clip, I just want you to watch and as it plays, just determine like what plays would you make in this same situation? Where would you go and does that line up with what I'm doing?
Thought I couldn't breathe without you. I'm inhaling. Thought I couldn't see without your perfect vision. Thought I couldn't last without you, but I'm lasting.
If you said I could have gotten that red snake right here, you'd be right.
But I'm living.
So that concludes our video, guys. If you have any special requests or anything, just let me know. I'll try to include them in the next video that I make. Otherwise, have a good day.